Hello, everyone. This is a practical course tour just to make sure that we all know where everything is on the Blackboard site and what the requirements are for the course and where you access them and so on. Of course, I'd like you to watch the thematic course overview video, which is more important actually to watch. You can figure this stuff out for yourself, but I want you to get a sense of what the course is really about, and you should watch that video. Anyway, here we are on the Blackboard site. There is no book of any sort to buy. All the readings and other materials have been uploaded. And as you'll see, if you look at the main menu on the left here, the course is um, organized by week. And of course, you should read the syllabus here to get a sense of everything. It's just a standard syllabus. But the most important thing is to access the materials that you need to read and watch, and the submission links for the work that you need to do. If you open up the week one folder, it's quite typical, except that uh, there's only two dates where you have to do work. So actually, since week two is also only 2 days because of Martin Luther King Day, let's move to week three because it's more typical. This is more typical for a week's folder. You'll have some videos right away. These are videos that I have uploaded to my YouTube channel, and that discuss the week's material. It could be more than one video, actually. But as far as the videos go, I would recommend watching them. In terms of my evaluation of your work, I will actually presuppose that you watch them. And so you should watch them. I mean, I don't check on it or anything, but it's actually an important part of the course. So these videos are really an overview of the material, or you'll get an overview of the material if you watch them. But if you click on the days folder, subfolder, what you'll get are a bunch of readings, or one reading, in this case, a bunch of readings, and a discussion board. So there are discussion boards for every day of the course, typically Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So there's discussion boards that accompany each reading, and these need to be done by midnight of the day that they are there for. So, yes, this is Monday, January 22nd. You should do the readings, and you should participate in the discussion board by midnight of that night, hopefully earlier. Because as far as your discussion board participation, you have to post at least twice. That is, you need to post your own substantive comment. There's no prompt. It's just what is your reaction to the day's materials. That should be substantive. I mean, a paragraph or so, I guess. It shouldn't be generalities. It shouldn't just be some bland, I liked it, it was interesting, or I didn't like it. I mean, no, you need to get specific about the reading. And you don't have to comprehensively discuss everything in the reading, but you need to discuss something in the reading. So it needs to be specific. If there's problems with that, I'll get in touch with you. You need to say something concrete about the reading, and you need to reply to at least one other person's posts in a thoughtful way. Actually, address what they've said. So if you don't post twice, you won't get full credit for the discussion board assignments. And just remember, there's a discussion board assignment for every day of the course or every reading. Um, Here, I have to edit that. That shouldn't be. Should say 124. Just make sure the due dates are right. I'll have to fix that. In any case, yes, 124. There's a discussion board. I'll have to fix that. Great. Right. So every one of these folders, there is a to add the discussion board for that day. Glad I'm looking through this. Yeah, week four, the Jonas thesis. There's one reading for the whole week. So if you click on the day, it'll give you what sections to read, and there'll be a discussion board for those sections. So that's the thing you should get into the habit of doing is that 3 times a week, typically, you need to do the readings and you need to participate in the discussion board on the day that those readings are assigned. Then, your other regular assignment is the personal reflection. If you look at the syllabus, every week, what you'll have to do this weekly personal reflection essay. Each week, you will write a personal reflection of about 250 words on the week's subject and readings. Now, that's a short essay. It's a one-page essay, basically, but it should be an essay. That is, it shouldn't be a simple paragraph. It should be thoughtful. It should be well written. It should be structured. It doesn't have to have. It doesn't necessarily have to have multiple paragraphs, but maybe 2 paragraphs would help. Maybe even 3, just to give me a sense that you are actually structuring your presentation, that you've thought about the way you want to present it. It shouldn't be some sloppy sort of just slapping down something. And it should be a reflection on the week's reading. It doesn't have to cover everything that we've read, but it should in some way or another get specific about at least something that we've read. It shouldn't be some bland thing. It should, again, be concrete. But it's your personal response. This is what you think. This is how you responded. You responded to this. And okay, let's raise the issue of you and your personal response. You'll see that for all of these requirements, I have written the same thing, and that is don't chatbot me. Okay. Please do not have an AI write this for you. It will be obvious if you do, and I would need to contact you to discuss the matter, as well as giving you an F for the assignment, with possible referral to the school for discipline, given the embarrassment of this on both sides. When I know that students are using an AI content generator, I contact them, or I say, I can't grade this until you contact me. And then we have a discussion about it. And certainly I could be wrong. But usually I'm right. And usually the student eventually says, yeah, I used it. And that's just really embarrassing to me. I don't want to do that. It's embarrassing for a student to have to be called to account for that. So just don't do it. I mean, all I'm asking you to do in the personal reflection essay is to write some thoughts, some, well formulated thoughts about what you read. So, yeah, let me just say, in terms of the class in general, I just have a zero tolerance policy for use of AI. I know that there's no official way to detect it, but you can tell. And lots of times you can prove it because, you ask the chat bot to do the assignment, and what it spits out is usually, it's always, slightly altered every time it does it, but it pretty much says the same thing over and over again. So you can actually prove it. So really, I'm not interested in reading what an AI content generator writes. If I want to do that, I would just surf the internet these days, because half of it is obviously written by an AI, I think. So just don't do it. The doing it on a discussion board, it's plagiarism. Doing it on a weekly reflection essay, it's plagiarism and an F for the assignment. Doing it on the final essay is failing the course, right? Obviously, I'd have to establish it, I have to prove it before I would do any of that. So just really avoid that. If you use any of those things, those AI, so-called AIs, which they're not, but they're just content generators. If you use them for your other courses, it's none of my business. Do not use them for this course. I mean, I'm not asking you to do that much, really. So if you are using them for this course, it's just really egregious cheating, plagiarism. Shouldn't do it. Okay, so the weekly personal reflection essay is just you gathering your thoughts. How did you respond to this? What are your initial thoughts about it? That's all I'm asking you to do in a very short essay of 250 words. So that's your typical day to day, week to week work for this class. You've got the daily discussion board, which shouldn't be bland. You should say something specific and concrete about the readings. That's every day, or every class day. Let's say Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then you've got the personal reflection, which is due every week by the end of the week, which is Sunday at midnight. And those are your regular assignments for the course. Then we have the midterm exam. The midterm and the final exam will be oral exams for this course. And I'll be straight with you. Teaching an online course is not what it used to be. With the advent of ChatGPT, it has changed things tremendously. So, one of the ways I'm sort of experimenting with coping with that is having oral exams with virtual one on one meetings rather than written exams. These oral exams, the midterm and the final, there'll be a sign up sheet for the days when I will be meeting with students to do the exams, and we will talk for like 15 minutes about the course. And I'll ask you questions about the course. And anybody who's familiar with material, anyone who has actually read the material, will do well, I think. I'm not going to ask nitpicky questions, but I will ask probing questions that help me determine whether you've read the material, whether you've thought about it, whether you're familiar with it. So there will be a midterm oral exam and there will be a final oral exam. Basically, hopefully, we'll just have a really good conversation about the material in the course. Um, and that's really all I'm looking for. That is, any exam in a class like this, what the teacher's looking for is the student's ability to talk intelligently and in an informed way about the material. If you can do that, you'll do great on the exams. But yeah, I won't hide the fact that moving towards oral exams, personal meetings, is a way of, there are a certain number of students, if you have an online written exam, will just have a chatbot do it for them. The answers won't be good, but, they might be credible. So avoiding that sort of thing, one of the things that you do is you have an actual conversation with somebody. So yes, the midterm and oral exams, there'll be sign-up sheets that will come up like a couple weeks before the exam dates, and you'll choose a time, a 20-minute time for conversation. Finally, there will be a final essay. The final essay, if I talked about the content of the prompt or the subject of the final essay right now, it wouldn't make much sense. It really has to do with question about the so-called Jonas thesis, which we'll be discussing in week 4 of the course, or maybe week 5 of the course, week 4, I think, and its effect on the relationship between technology and ethics, and whether we need a new ethical outlook to cope with the new power of modern technology, especially digital technology. But it's just a 4-page essay in which you respond to that question. We'll talk more about it as time comes. There's no late work will be accepted. Everything needs to be turned in on time. Your grades will be determined in this way. This is roughly, I think, correct in terms of how many points are available for each assignment. And your grade for the course will be determined by how many points you score. Just remember that when something is due, it's always due by midnight. And after that, the thing closes and you won't be able to do it. Plagiarism policy, you just can't do it. So that's the course. The important thing, as far as the midterm exam, the final exam, and the final essay, plenty of time to get ready for those. Important thing now is to remember that for each one of these folders, Monday, Wednesday, Friday of each week, in it you will find the reading and you will find the discussion board that needs to be done by midnight on that date, and the personal reflection that'll be due Sunday at midnight every week. So my contact information is on the syllabus, my email, of course, but also my cell phone. Feel free to call me anytime if you want to discuss the course or if you have a problem or something comes up. I'd be glad to talk with you. Welcome to the course, everybody. It should be fun. It's actually a really fun course, the material.